This was the first one this year.
30,000, 60,000 on the blinds.
I just like it up here in Colorado. It's a good location.
Actions on John in the 1 seat.
Where you at in St. Louis?
I'm actually in Houston now.
Houston?
I'm just born and raised in St. Louis.
John raises
We're all in for
to
4 years.
160,000, 160.
South Sunset
Over
Hills.
recording the
Yeah.
2 seat.
School, Mizzou.
Okay.
Cord folds over to Gary on the button. Gary folds. Draws folds over to Brian in the big blind, and Brian's going to make the call. 160,000 and a call. Going to be heads up to the flop. Let's see the flop. Flop is 7 of diamonds, 8 of hearts, 9 of spades. Brian is first act. Brian's going to bet.
On. On.
What was it, 170 and all in? 270,000 was a bet by Brian. Action was over to John. He's moved all in. Action's going to be back to Brian.
Eight, 16, 8, 9, 10, 40%.
Brian's going to fold in. John's going to take down the pot.
Nice.
Shows Queen 10 of clubs.
Same hand.
I had you.
No, same hand.
I had a back door.
So did I.
I had a better back door.
No, you didn't.
So we're 54 minutes left at this level. We're at a 10,000 ante. 30,000, 60,000 on the blinds. Started with 488 players down to our final 6. Sixth place today is going to receive just over 26,000. Fifth place, just over 34,000. And first place, just over 164,000 plus the HPT main event bracelet. 30,000, 60,000 on the blinds. John's going to be first act in the 1 seat. John folds over to Cord in the 2 seat. Cord folds, actions on Gary. Gary folds over to Draws on the button. Draws folds over to Brian in the small blind. Brian's going to raise to 175,000. 175 over to Josh in the big blind. Josh folds and Brian's going to win the
Love
pot.
that hand.
Shows 8-7 of clubs.
I would have called.
I didn't have anything at all.
You didn't?
Obviously not. I wasn't thinking raising.
Oh.
$30,000, $60,000 on the blinds. Court's first act. He folds over to Gary. Actions fold around to Brian on the button. Brian's going to raise to 225,225. Actions over to Josh in the small blind. Josh folds over to John in the big blind. John folds and Brian's going to take down the pot. Our chips in play. Red chips are 5,000 chips. The green are 25,000. And the new white chips are 100,000 chips. Gary's going to be first act. He folds over to Dross. Dross is going to raise to 160,000 over to Brian. Brian folds over to Josh now in the 9th seat. Josh folds over to John in the small blind. 160,000 is the current bet. John folds over to Court in the big blind. And Court's going to make the call. 160,000 and a call. Going to be heads up. Let's see the flop. Flop is 4 of clubs, 9 of spades, 4 of hearts. Court is first. He checks over to Dross. Dross is going to bet 215,000. 215 is a bet. Over to Court. He folds. And Dross is going to win the pot. $30,000, $60,000 on the blinds. Dross is going to be first act. Actions fold around to Josh in the 9 seats. Josh is going to raise to 140,000. 140 is the bet. Actions over to John in the 1 seats. He folds. Over to Court now in the small blind. Court folds. Actions on Gary in the big blind.
Call.
And Gary's going to make the call. 140,000 and a call. Going to be heads up to the flop. Let's see the flop. Flop is deuce of spades, deuce of clubs, 9 of diamonds. Gary's first act. Gary checked over to Josh. Josh bets 135, 135,000. Actions back to Gary.
Yep.
And Gary makes the call. 135,000 and a call. Still heads up here. Let's see the turn card. Turn card is the 7 of clubs. Gary's first to act. Checks over to Josh. Josh is going to bet. 245,000. 245 is the bet. Actions back to Gary. And Gary makes the call. 245,000 and a call. Still heads up here. Let's see the river card. River card is the Jack of clubs. Gary's first to act. Checks over to Josh. Good catch. Josh bets 305,000. Did we get that on camera? Actions on Gary. Gary's gonna fold in. Josh is gonna win the pot.
Anyone else drink sausages here? Drinks? 2 waters and hot tea with honey.
Just under 45 minutes left at this level. 10,000 ante, 30,000, 60,000 on the blinds. Brian's going to be first to act. Brian folds over to Josh in the 9 seat. Josh is going to raise to 145,000, 145. Actions over to John. He folds. Over to Cord now in the 2 seat. Cord folds. Gary folds. Over to Draws in the big blind. 145,000 is the current bet. Draws folds. And Josh is going to win the pot.
Brian, you let me have a second think about the bet. I'm like,
That's why I heard you hesitate. He did too. It's like, wait, no cards. All right, I'm on.
Just over 43 minutes left at this level. Still 10,000, 80, 30,000, 60,000 on the blinds. Started with 488 players down to our final 6. Josh in the 9 seat's going to be first to act. 60,000 is our big blind. Josh folds. John folds over to Cord. Cord folds as well. Actions on Gary on the button. Gary's going to raise to 160,000, 160. Over to Draws in the small blind. Draws folds. Actions on Brian in the big blind. And Brian makes the call. 160,000 and a call. Going to be heads up. Let's see the flop. Flop is 5 of spades, 6 of spades, 6 of hearts. Brian's first. He checks over to Gary. Gary's going to bet 175,000. 175. Actions back to Brian.
All in.
Brian announces all in. Actions back to Gary. Gary folds and Brian's going to win the pot.
Good bet, bro. Good bet.
The hand.
It's not every hour, it's every level. So he's been already 20 plus. So 41 minutes will be. $10,000 Andy, $30,000, $60,000 on the blinds. John's going to be first to act in the 1 seat. Actions folded around to Gary in the 3 seat. Gary folds, over to draws on the button. Draws folds, actions on Brian in the small blind. Brian folds and shows a 3.
Oh, I
And
saw the
Josh is
king.
going to win the pot.
Crashed. My flush is coming though, I think. 3 high flush.
That's the first walk.
It is. Sorry, I had to do it.
First walk of the day.
Thank you. Can I get
Take the one this time.
$30,000, $60,000 on the blinds. Just under 40 minutes left.
So go to 40, 80?
Yeah. 30, 60 goes to 48. Gary raises. 160. 160,000. Actions folded around now to Josh in the small blind. 160,000 is the current bet. Josh folds over to John in the big blind. John folds and Gary's going to take down the pot. Actions folded around to Josh on the button.
Yeah.
So it's got to be
Oh, one.
60 because he didn't put out half the board, so it's a call of 60.
My bad.
He put out 80.
Yeah,
Would have had him at 90, so it's only
for
60.
sure.
Josh makes the call. Actions on John in the small blind. He also makes the call. Option to cord in the big blind. Cord checks his option. And we're going to have 3 players to the flop. Let's see the flop. Flop is 5 of diamonds, 8 of diamonds, 10 of diamonds. John is first to act. John and they will check over to Josh. Josh is going to bet 125,000, 125. Actions back to John. John folds over to Cord. Cord's going to make the call. 125,000 and a call. Going to be heads up now. Let's see the turn card. Turn card is the 10 of hearts. Cord is first to act. Checks over to Josh. Josh is going to bet 265,000. 265. Actions back to Cord. Cord makes the call. 265 and a call. Still heads up. Let's see the river card. River card is the 8 of clubs. Cord is first to act. Cord's going to bet. 315,000. 315. Actions over to Josh.
I think you made max. So.
Josh folds, and Cord's going to win the pot. Just over 33 minutes left at this level. Still 10,000 ante. 30,000, 60,000 on the blinds. Jaraz is going to be first to act. $160,000 is the raise by Jaraz. 160. Over to Brian. Brian's going to raise. Brian's going to re-raise to a total bet of 360,000. 360. Actions fold around the Cord in the small blind. He folds as well. Over to Gary in the big blind. 360,000 is the total bet. Gary folds. Actions back to Jaraz. Josh folds, and Brian's going to win the pot. $30,000, $60,000 on the blinds. Brian's going to be first act. Brian's going to raise to $160,000, 160. Josh folds over to John in the 1 seat. John folds, Cord folds, Gary folds over to draws in the big blind. 160,000 is the current bet. Draws folds as well, and Brian's going to win the pot.
Is there a dinner break, Jeremy?
So the next break will be 2 hours. If needed, we'll take a dinner break now, which is 6 levels.
Yeah.
I'm fucking grinding. I'm grinding. This is legit grinding. This is legit.
You need to get you a shirt that says I grind.
Like
I'm
grinding.
grinding. Is it on me?
Yeah, come on, grinder.
I'm trying to, take my time. These decisions might be easy for you. It's freaking hard for me. I'm a grinder.
Actions folded around 2 Cord in the 2 seat. $140,000 is the raise by Cord. 140. Gary makes the call. Over to draws in the small blind. 140,000 is the current bet. Draws folds. Over to Brian in the big blind. And Brian folds as well. All right, gonna be heads up to the flop. Let's see the flop. Flop is 10 of spades, 7 of diamonds, 7 of spades. Cord's first. He checks over to Gary. Gary's gonna bet. 230,000. Cord folds, and Gary's gonna win the pot.
Grinding. Knit reg grinder.
$30,000, $60,000 on the blinds. Actions fold around to Gary. He folds over to draws on the button. Draws is going to raise to $160,000, 160. Over to Brian in the small blind. He folds over to Josh down in the big blind. Josh is going to re-raise to a total bet of $495,495. Actions back to Josh. Jonas folds in. Josh is going to win the pot.
That's how it is if we come up to your big blind, huh?
Just over 25 minutes left at this level. Cord's going to be first act. He's going to raise
140.
to 140,140. Action's folded around to Brian. He folds as well over to Josh in the small blind. 140,000 is the current bet. Josh folds over to John in the big blind. John folds, and Cord is going to take down the pot.
Son of a.
We have dinner after this?
So this is the first level back to break. We're going to play this level plus one more. So 2 levels, then we'll take dinner break then. So that's the scheduled one. So in 84 minutes.
I could eat.
Y'all good with that?
Yeah, I want to
84 minutes good?
eat. Yeah.
Good with that?
Sometimes we get down, the heads up play at that point, and then the 2, but we'll be there at that point.
Wow.
A couple of times we don't even take because we're down heads up.
So you can't influence action like that.
No, it's scheduled for,
It was very passive aggressive.
Action's folded around to Josh on the button. Josh is going to raise to 140,140. Over to John. He folds. Action's on Cord in the big blind. 140,000 is the bet. And Cord's going to make the call. 140,000 and a call. Going to be heads up to the flop. Let's see the flop. Flop is 10 of spades, ace of hearts, ace of clubs. Cord is first act. Cord checks. Josh bets. Was it 75? Yep, 75,000. Cord folds, and Josh takes down the pot. Just over 22 minutes left at this level. 10,000 ante, 30,000, 60,000 on the blinds. Draws first act, he folds. Over to Brian, Brian folds. Action's on Josh in the 9 seat. Josh folds over to John in the 1 seat. John's going to raise to 130,130. Cord folds over to Gary in the big blind. Gary's going to fold and John's going to take down the pot. Actions folded around to John in the 1 seat.
140.
John's going to raise to 140,140. Cord's going to re-raise
325.
to 325,325. Gary folds over to Jaws in the big blind. 325,000 is the current bet. Jaws folds. Actions back to John in the 1 seat. John folds and Cord's going to take down the pot. Just under 20 minutes left at this level. Still 10,080, 30,000, 60,000 on the blinds.
I was going to say, I don't believe that for a
480
second.
players on our final 6.
Come on, man, you're the best. Not a pair.
He's screwed, he's screwed.
He's dragged.
Yeah, he's screwed.
Tired of this. I'm the only one telling you guys.
Well, shit, I showed fucking Queen 10.
You did show Queen 10.
Queen 9.
Josh is going to be first to act in the 9 seat. Josh is going to raise to 140,140. Actions fold around to Gary in the 3 seat. Gary folds over to Draws in the small blind. Brian's going to re-race to a total bet of 350,350. Is the re-raise by Brian. Actions back to Josh. Josh folds and Brian's going to take down the pot. So over 17 minutes left at this level. 10,000 ante. 30,000, 60,000 on the blinds. Actions folded around and draws on the button. Draws folds over to Brian in the small blind. Brian makes a call. Option to Josh in the big blind.
Grinder, bro.
We're both grinding.
Grind.
Let's fucking go, dude.
Grinding.
You know, play some 2-5 after this?
Yeah. I wish the Hellhog game was still going.
Josh is going to
That
raise
would have been a sick game.
to total bet of 210,210. Actions back to Brian. Brian folds and Josh takes on the pot.
Yeah. Maybe.
I was calling King 8 over. You're gonna get it. I mean,
Those,
of a lifetime.
how is that real? That's such
You're
bullshit.
savage. You trapped the shit out of me. You just wanted my every last dollar.
Who was trapping who?
I was betting my hand. I was like, dude, you're gonna run me down? And you're like, yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, he's gonna die when I turn this over.
You said 2 pair. I was like,
Just under 16 minutes. Up to this level, 10,080, 30, 60. Board's going to be first act. He folds over to Gary. Gary's going to raise to 160,000, 160. Actions fold around to Josh in the small blind. Josh folds over to John in the big blind. John folds and Gary takes down the pot.
I'm good.
let's go, Gary. You have 5 HPT final tables.
Is it the
Played 3 here.
Give me the places. Here?
Here. Expert Mississippi.
Yeah.
Indigo Star.
Okay.
Cruise ship.
That's Tulsa, what is that, Missouri?
Somewhere down there in Mississippi.
I guess. I don't remember where I was.
You mean,
Caribbean Ocean.
wow. Okay. Story checks out.
What's that?
These 5 final tables, HPT.
We actually made a cruise one.
Uh-oh.
Gary makes the call.
Live game strong.
lame game strong?
But there was 2. This was the second.
You found it was twice now? Oh shit, we got it.
Tries raises to 230,000, 230 over to Brian.
And in between got 16 plus twice for like 9,500.
In the year between.
Or in between.
So you almost had 7 final tables.
Brian folds over to Josh.
I was chipped later in day 2, late in day 2. It's crazy. I mean, I like, well, you've seen them. They're all
Josh folds over to John. John folds over to Cord in the big blind. 230,000 is the bet.
I folded pocket.
She's back to Gary. He folds. And
Bastard.
Josh takes down the pot.
Bastard.
He was big blind.
Bastard.
This went all in with every pair, but I didn't know that.
No, he called purposely.
Yeah, deuces.
Took my move.
2.6 million shares.
How do you know it would have helped?
Well, then quit taking them from me.
We're making it up, all right?
Come on. I'm gonna play once in a while. I don't play very many hands. Come on.
3 bit.
Jazz, you had Jacks
How do you
there?
do that?
Did you show?
He had Jacks, right? You didn't
No,
have
he didn't have
Jacks.
jacks.
Just pre-rolling for a shot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Actions on Josh is going to raise to 150,000.
Good.
150. Actions fold around to Gary in the big blind.
I mean, pair is good, right?
Yeah. knew I should have pushed. Free betcha.
Gary's going to re-raise
I think you would have
to
too.
300,000.
I think,
Actions back to Josh.
I'll take the raise. I was a little worried about getting
And
marked
Josh
out.
makes the call. 300,000 and a call.
Smooth call, kind of.
Maybe heads
Time all
up to the
night.
flop. Let's see the flop. Flop is 7 of clubs, ace of diamonds, jack of spades. Gary is first act. Gary's gonna bet 400,000. Action's over to Josh. Josh folds, and Gary takes down the pot.
Come on, one time.
On TV any minute.
No, we'll see now. Here, I'll give you 5 for it.
I'll give you 5K.
Should we start showing a card every time we win a pot?
1 card?
One card. We get to choose.
I'd be down for that.
That'd
Draws
be
you
fine.
down or no? Are you down?
No. There's always one.
We got
I
5
bluff
out
way
of 6.
too much for that.
Come on. Are you bluffing about that or are you telling the truth?
Yeah.
Are you bluffing about that?
No, I don't want to do that. You guys are so much better than I can be showing that.
Oh, whatever. Here we go. Hustle, ultimate hustle.
Yep.
Speed.
Yep.
Yeah. You're going.
We said whatever.
You guys are great. I love crushing you.
30,000, 60,000 on the blinds. Brian's first act. Brian's gonna raise to 140,000, 140.
Inviting me to play.
I
Over
am.
to Josh, he folds. Over to John now in the 1 seat.
Come on. Get in there.
John folds. Over to Cord in the 2 seat. 140,000 is the current bet.
You want to borrow chips? You can call. Here. Here's 100.
Just because I
Actions folded around the
Here's
draws in
100.
the
You
big
can borrow
blind.
the chip. I'll pay
don't
50.
like show credit. You guys.
You're right. I'll tell you what. Every other pot you win, you gotta show 1 card, and every pot we win, we'll show 1 card. That's a great deal. You're getting special treatment right here.
Special treatment.
That's a good compromise. Come on.
And Jaws makes the call. 140,000. And a call.
He's trying so
All right,
hard.
heads up here. Let's see the flop.
Yeah, I'm trying.
It sounds
Flop
enticing
is
though.
9 of
It's like,
spades
that's a
and
pretty good
clubs. 6
deal.
of hearts. Draws his first act. Checks over to Brian. Brian checks as well. Both players check the flop. Let's see the turn. Turn card is the 8 of hearts. Draws his first act. Checks over to Brian. Brian checks as well. Both players check the turn. Let's see the river. River card is the 5 of spades. So I was going to bet 155,000, 155. Actions over to Brian.
I wouldn't be excited for a lot of success. Some of those guys, it's except by some guy that was a pro for Vegas in 6 years yesterday. They're running qualifiers.
A lot of them.
There's a guy in Vegas who went right for great. I think he's a 20th pro, $7.7 million years. This guy.
Not everyone knows people's skills.
Yeah.
Just because they're good poker players doesn't mean they're gonna be friends with people.
You got the
Brian's going to fold. And Jaws is going to take down the pot.
The 114. You want to drink Oh, HPT.
Oh, that. I know who you're talking about.
Need something?
No.
I know who you're talking
they have a club.
It starts with a B, Brady or. No.
He has a big club.
All right. No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Oh.
I mean, you might have just got a bad taste there.
Well,
Aaron's all right guy.
I got to know
I think I
him a
did.
little better later. At the start.
I bet on flop. I think
I
you
beat
beat
him
him.
in a handful. firsthand. I know you have to hear about it for 35 minutes. I'm same with your show. Local shows. When I mean, you did a year later.
Action's folded
I
around.
never talked. I'm just a
Two draws in the small blind.
Then I flopped the boat, and his brother hit quads in the river. You know, I already got one. I'm older, but I just don't think they're. You know, I'll become so glad his brother was watching Aaron. My buddy's in Kansas City. And Aaron gets done with
160 is the raise by draws. 160,000. Action's on Brian in the big blind.
Just that's where he did. Instead of taking it to the trash, he just put the gum in the middle of some seats so he could sit down. That's not classy. And then he was full of shit because he was harassing players, just like they're famous for being his goal that's right. You know what he does when the Jewish he stuffs his earplugs in Aaron's brother, whatever. It's not classy. I can't believe you would do either one of those in your life.
Brian's going to re-raise
10 years old, you wouldn't do that.
to 310,000. 310 is the re-raise by Brian.
Rub you the wrong way sometimes. There's a good dude.
It's like one wrap around it.
Action was back to Drazi. He's going to move all in. Action's back to Brian now.
I played really small when I was the years right before Black Friday. It was, and I had like a 20K score, and then like as much as they took it out, they took it away.
I lost 68,000. I was making 5,000 for a short term. That's a shock because I don't look like it or act like a work player. Best player here. And every played on this in a couple fights. As the second person to shut out, it's 6,000. But I just won like 130,000 in 3 months playing. You never quite know it
I really did.
Scott was 77.
Did you play snow?
Well, I have an account at Bovada, and they're changing. They sold out. And I took
why do I want to call you so bad?
Go to Black Tip Poker.
I already am. I already give me $50 to start there.
If you need any money on there, I can see you somewhere.
What?
If you need any money on there, I can see you somewhere.
Oh, you could trade it.
I can transfer it to you.
Alright. Well, I haven't even got an account yet.
So when you get it, let me know. It's a good site. They have good tournament. Put a couple $1,000 on it last year.
Oh, you're going to be down in Texas. How do I get some more money?
I'm going to see you at HBT. You final table every one of these. What do you mean? I'll catch you again.
Give me you have a card. You have a
We'll
business
exchange.
card, poker.
We'll exchange info.
Good bet.
Brian's going to fold in. Drazi's going to take down the pot.
With UB, I'll only put money on bonus, but
Just over 3 minutes left of the slot. 10,000, 80, 30,000, 60,000 on the blinds.
I don't want to call you so bad. I know.
I thought you were going to call it for sure.
So close.
King Queen?
So close.
King Queen?
Huh?
King Queen?
No, a little better than that.
Wow.
He would call King Queen.
Call it King Queen, full ace queen? That's a good strategy.
He didn't have the King Queen. He
Said he had better than King Queen.
I mean, Ace 3-0 does not count as better than King Queen, does it? In that spot?
You want me to pause this?
What hand was that? I want to look that up later.
So over 2 minutes left at this level.
Yeah.
140.
Quarter raises to 140,140. Charles is going to re-raise to a total bet of 330,000. Brian Foltz over to Josh in the big blind. 330,000 is the total bet. Josh Foltz, actions back to Cord.
What are you doing back there?
Let's see your chips.
No, what you got going on back there?
Oh, he's putting his mic in.
Change my battery.
He's pulling out chips.
Cord's all in. Actions back to draws now. Cord is all in out of the 2 seat.
I caught you.
Oh, I'm not. How much?
Draws has asked for a count.
Roughly.
1.8, 1.9 total. You showing me that shit?
All right, Josh folds. Shows ace queen. Cord shows ace king.
Wow. Nice.
All right, this is going to be the last hand at this level. He's going to do one more hand at this level. We're at 10,000 ante. 30,000, 60,000. This is the last hand at this level.
How good are you?
Yeah, just enough.
Stop, I gave it away, you know that. You're gonna take credit right there? I gave it away. I let you out the trap.
You gave it to him.
I could afford bet and you went 5.
You gave it to him.
Maybe not, but
All right, Cord's going to be first act. He's going to raise to 140,000, 140. Actions fold around to Josh in the small line. 140,000 is the current bet. This is the last hand at this level. Josh folds over to John in the big blind. John folds and Cord is going to win the pot. All right, guys, clock is paused for a new dealer here. That was Michael, our dealer. Let's give Michael a round of applause. Nice job, Michael.
Yeah, Michael.
All right, new blind level, 10,000 ante, 40,000, 80,000 on the blinds, 10, 40, 80. All right, new blind level, 10,000 ante, 40,000, 80,000 on the blinds. Started with 488 players, down to our final 6. Sixth place today is going to receive just over 26,000. Fifth place, just over 34,000. And first place, just over 164,000, plus the HPT main event bracelet. Our chips in play, red chips, 5,000 chips, green are 25,000. And the whites are 100,000 chips. We're here at the Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor in Blackhawk,
80, I think.
Colorado.
Or 80? 40, 80?
You can follow updates throughout the day at hptpoker.com. Click on live updates. All right, 40,000, 80,000 on the blinds. Gary's going to be first act in the 3 seat. Gary folds over to draws.
GLAI.
yep.
Actions folded around to Josh in the 9 seat. Josh is going to raise to 200 and 10,210. Over to John. John folds. Over to Cord in the big blind. He folds as well. And Josh is going to take down the pot.
No more cheering. You will? What if I was gonna say? What
Yeah,
if I just want like a 1-2.
I'll take one.
Just let me know you're there still. All right.
Don't get out of control now.
Just a 1-2. Just a 1-2. All right. That's all I'm asking for.
40,000, 80,000 are the new blinds. Drives his first act. Draws folds over to Brian. Brian's going to raise 215,215. Josh folds over to John in the 1 seat. John moves all in. Extras folded back around to Brian. John is all in out of the 1 seat. And Brian's going to make the call. Let's see the hands, guys. John shows pocket tens, 10 of spades, 10 of hearts.
They fold nice. You did not?
But I folded a jack since you asked.
Yeah.
It's true.
Move those chips inside of that.
10, 6, 3.
Come
All
on.
spades.
Are you kidding me?
All right, 7, 8, 9.
7 8
Is that not the,
Fine.
gre- is
Seven,
that
eight,
the
nine.
greediest
One
wish ever?
7, 8, 9.
1 spade.
All right, 7
What's
is
the
fine.
greediest
No,
wish ever?
2 spades. 2 spades. Come on. 2 spades. I think he's got
At least 8, 9, 10 with 1 spade.
Do you have a white chip in there?
There's
too?
2 in there.
Let's get a quick count here real quick. I can pause it if we have to, just use. Because you got white. He doesn't have white.
Count his. It's 1.1.
Hey.
He said it. He looked at me. He said it.
1,025,000.
25,000.
John has 1,025,000. This is a close one here. We're just getting a quick count.
Is this 2 whites?
Yep.
That's a million, 25, 35.
Just got him by a little bit.
Say good luck to both of them.
1.1. 25, 15.
1,115,000. So Brian does have John covered.
Should have folded.
So Brian does have John covered. John has pocket tens, 10 of spades, 10 of hearts. Brian has ace of spades, jack of spades. John is currently in the lead, but his tournament life is at risk. Let's see the flop.
Come on, in the window. Make it easy. Here's 1 spade.
Flop is 3 of clubs, king of diamonds, 4 of spades. John is still in the lead with his
I just
pocket
bring
tens.
actually, yeah, bring the 10 now. That's fine.
No, no 10s.
Queen of spades.
Let's see the
Queen
turn.
of spades.
Hey,
Yeah.
who are we cheering for?
Sweats.
Turn card is the ace of clubs.
I wasn't cheering for that, bro.
Brian is now in the lead. John's tournament life is at risk. He's going to need to see a 10, or he's going to leave us in 6th place. Let's see the river card.
Now deuce.
Who called it for you?
River card is the 10 of diamonds. John is going to double up.
Okay. How about that first one?
I think you hit that river.
That for a turn river. Holy smokes.
1,025,000.
You could have just done that in reverse and made it way easier on me.
Way to win
Make
your
sure he
flip.
sees that before
Way to
you
win
push
your
it right
flip.
there.
I saw it.
No, make sure
Yeah,
the
like
winner
him?
sees
Yeah,
that. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're good.
Yeah, I saw it.
He's good. We're good.
He's laxed.
He's got to tell everybody.
He's laxed. The game is the game.
Game of poker.
I get it, right? Yeah.
No.
What do you mean, no? After him, who gets it? You? Fuck it, take it. You want me to stack your chips?
I get
All
it.
right, just over 55 minutes left at this level. Still 6 players. remaining at our HPT main event final table. 10,000 ante, 40,000, 80,000. Brian's gonna be first act, and he's gonna move all in.
What is? Can you let me know what that is?
Scary 80.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Okay.
You call?
Brian's gonna make the call of 80,000, but he is all in. Over to Josh. Josh is gonna raise to 235,235. He actually sold it around the draws in the big blind.
All right, make it look like 80, Josh.
All right, Josh is gonna get a rebate here. Brian shows ace of diamonds, 3 of spades, ace 4, 2, pocket 3s.
At least I still got 2 overs.
Yep.
2 overs.
Sorry, Jay.
All right, Brian does have ace of diamonds, 4 of clubs. Josh has pocket 3s, 3 of spades, 3 of clubs, and is currently in the lead. Brian's tournament life is at risk here. Let's see the flop.
Set. Set.
You don't want to set full house.
Oh shit! No. I was looking for the last
Flop is deuce of clubs, deuce of hearts, 5 of hearts. Josh is still in the lead with his pocket 3s. Let's see the turn card.
Got some whites against this wall. I know what you're-
Turn card is the queen of
Need those
clubs.
whites, bud.
Yeah, I do. Indeed.
Brian's going to need to see an ace
Jesus.
or 4. He's going to leave us.
I don't usually
In
get
6th
that
place,
excited,
let's see the
but
river
that
card.
was a hell of a card. You know what I
River card
mean?
is a 6 of
That was a hell of a
spades.
card.
Josh's going to win the pot, and Brian's going to
Good
leave us in
plan,
6th
Ryan.
place.
Good
Let's
job.
give Brian a round of applause. Nice job, Brian.
Again, buddy. Sorry, man.
It's all right.
Fucking A.
Take down.
Yes, sir. Yep. Later. Yep.